देवी स्तूयते नित्यं विबुधैर्वेदपारगैः सा मे वसतु जिह्वाग्रे ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती A very good morning, Suprabhatam, Namaskars to all the esteemed Swamijis here and all of you. It is always a joy and a privilege to come here and be part of the satsangs. And it's not so much a teaching as a sharing of that which has been received from my Guru, who received it from his Guru, who received it from his Guru, her Guru, his Guru, her Guru, all the way to Lord Shiva, we say. So in that spirit, we will be taking up a small text called Ṣatkam. Ṣatkam means a group of six. We have, what is that called in this sextet? It will be called in English. We have also Panchakams, like Manisha Panchakam, that is a quintet or a quintad. Then we have Ashtakams, octets like this. Different verses. And in Vedanta, everything, generally, there are some prose works, but generally everything is in form of the, verses for easy recollection. So today we will be starting what is called Nirvāna Ṣatkam. A Ṣatkam, a group of 6 verses for which the subject matter or the topic is what? Nirvāna. What is Nirvāna? Nirvāna means moksha. What is moksha? Nirvāna. See, Sanskrit is so easy. Moksha means freedom, which assumes that there is a sense of bondage centered on the I. That is what it assumes. And it seems to be a correct assumption because there seems to be a rampant feeling, a notion of bondage. And this is what Vedanta, the bread and butter of this moksha, freedom, this is what it enquires. This is the sole area, the primary area of enquiry, is this notion of bondage. Notice I keep saying notion, even though it feels like an ocean. The bondage feels like an ocean, endless and totally a feeling of entanglement, entrapment. Even though it feels like an ocean, it has to be seen as a notion. Why? Because it's not there all the time. It's not there all the time at all. If this bondage were permanent, I can say that it is an ocean of bondage. Wherever the I exists, there is a sense of bondage. Bondage is there. But that is not true. In sleep, is there any bondage? Show me at least one sign of life. In sleep, is there a sense of bondage? No. See, now I know you are awake. Yeah. In sleep, whether it happens in the satsang or in your room, sometimes the best sleep comes in the morning and evening satsangs. Best kind of sleep. I'll tell you why sometime. You can ask in the question hour. Not your fault, there is a reason for that. There's a nice story for that, yeah. So now, what do we have here? We have a notion of bondage. That's why we have to call it an ocean. Because even though it seems like an ocean, in sleep, what bondage? Where? Nothing, only ananda. Blissful sleep, uninterrupted by anything, anybody, anyhow, anywhere. It's wonderful. And so, even during times of waking, this bondage is notional because I don't feel bound all the time. Some days go very well. Some days I feel a sense of oneness with everybody and everything. Dare I call it happiness? I feel happy. I feel integrated with the universe and with all that has to offer. But then, most of the time, that is not my reality. That does not seem to be the truth all the time. But I want it to be the truth all the time. I want this to be my reality. And therefore, there is a struggle between what apparently I take to be real and what I want to be real. What I want to be real is the me that is discovered as free of bondage. That is what I want to be real. When? All the time. This is what I want to be real all the time. The me that is discovered as free of bondage. But then what am I confronted with? I am confronted sadly with the opposite. Some kind of a confusion exists, and this kind of a confusion is not there for anybody other than human beings. A dog is not confused about itself. Even though sometimes certain breeds of dogs we prune, it has pom-poms everywhere. Yeah. But it doesn't get confused. Am I a cheerleader? What am I? A, B, should I be holding some things? A for Atma, B for Brahman. Should I be doing some cheerleading here? Vedantic cheerleading, it's not confused. It's called poodle. Yes. This poodle, it doesn't say take me to the barber. No. It is groomed by the people who are owning it, have certain ideas. Once I saw one poodle being taken for a walk, and then it was in a park where all the trees were also made to look like animals and whatnot. And I could not miss this irony that the trees and the plants are what? All pruned, and the poodle is also pruned. Yet the poodle did not say, I am a tree. There is no confusion. It is happy what it is. It doesn't say, I'm not going to come for a walk. I protest. And I'm not going to be taken out looking like this. What have you done to me? It goes happily. There is no self-consciousness, especially a negative self-judgmental consciousness of the I as what? As something not up to par, not okay. I am not okay. That feeling is not there for the poodle. Seems to be okay, seems to be fine, does not need this teaching because there is no bondage centered on the self. Although many people who take online classes assure me that their dogs are also taking online classes, I tell them that's because they are sitting in front of the laptop. And if they were to leave, then the dog also would leave. And to prove me wrong, they send me photos of the dog in front of the laptop with my face on the laptop. Yeah. Maybe there is a treat in the hand of the person which I don't see when they take the photograph. That's why the dog is sitting. Dog doesn't need this teaching, much less the cat who thinks I'm the owner of the whole universe. Yeah, who are you? You know, you are just a life-size can opener. That's what you are. Feed me. Feed me now. That's what it says. Yeah. Have you ever seen a cat feeling guilty? No, we have to say no. It doesn't know how to spell guilt. It doesn't feel guilty. It will sit on this and knock off everything one by one and look at you. Yeah, so what, you know? It's only the human being. Only the human being. We have the dubious distinction of being so blessed to have this human birth. And indeed, it is a blessing. You know, I tend to be a little ironical, so you can ignore the ironical apostrophes. It's a blessing, true. It is indeed a blessing. It's a blessing to be born as a human being because there is Bhagavan, Ishvara, God in the form of the capacity to desire, which is endless. The capacity for creativity, provided the mind is working well and provided the mind is not bogged down by ragadveshas, strong preferences and strong prejudices, and lots of gripes and concerns, complaints. Provided the mind is not bogged down by that, the capacity of the mind is endless. We can see this in rishis like Carl Sagan, Stephen Hawking, Einstein. There is no limit for discovery, for inventions of various kinds. The mind has to be free. I have to be free. That is what, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have this birth where I can pursue whatever I want uninhibitedly. The opportunities are endless. And when I get tired of pursuing this, that, or the other, dharma, artha, kama, the pursuits are divided into four. Dharma, artha, kama. Dharma, righteous living. It's a very important pursuit for the human being. If you say, I'm not that particularly interested in righteous living, to this I will say, are you not interested in other people treating you correctly? Yes or no? Yes. Therefore, dharma becomes a pursuit indirectly. Even though I may not be dharmic, I want other people to be dharmic towards me. When I walk, they should open the door. When I drop something, they should pick it up and give me. They should be kind, polite, compassionate, and accommodative of all my idiosyncrasies without me necessarily having to do any of that. This is why dharma is the first and the most important pursuit. I either pursue it directly or I pursue it indirectly. But then, sooner or later, the human being realizes, what? If I am not dharmic towards others, then others are not going to be dharmic towards me. If I don't want to be cheated, if I want to be accommodated, if I have to be, if people need to be compassionate towards me, I have to return the favor. This is a basic aspect of self-growth. This is a very important and basic aspect of self-growth. I have to return the favor because everything cannot be codified into a law. I have to return the favor and therefore dharma becomes important. Then what? The next thing is artha. Artha means the pursuit of security. And for this, the whole world I'm ready to turn upside down because I want to pursue security day in and day out. I want to do things and engage in activities that make me feel secure. What is the basic premise here? The basic premise is I am an insecure human being. That is why I want artha, security. This is very, very interesting because this premise we have to see. Am I wanting security or am I wanting freedom from insecurity? This is something to understand. If I want security and I am by nature an insecure person, then we have a problem. No matter what I do, no matter where I go, no matter how many avatars I have, that security centered on the I will never, ever, ever, ever go. Because that insecurity, if it is real, the definition of real in Vedanta is what? That which cannot be changed, negated, abadhitam sat, real. Trikalepi tishtati iti sat, that which is there unchangingly in all periods of time. Can I say, I am insecure forever? No. There is a predominant notion of insecurity, but I am not insecure because in sleep I feel secure. When I am happy, I feel secure. When I am with people I love, I feel secure. So obviously this has to be looked at, this has to be challenged, this has to be questioned. We have to come to the conclusion, I'm not seeking security. What am I seeking? Freedom from insecurity is what I seek. I seek freedom from insecurity. That means insecurity is a notion that I have to predominantly contend with. Then what is the third pursuit? The third pursuit is kama, pleasures, happiness. Aesthetic pleasures, material pleasures, spiritual pleasures, everything is included in this rubric called kama. And again we have to ask the question, am I seeking happiness or am I seeking freedom from unhappiness? If I am seeking happiness, the assumption is that the I is unhappy. This I'm not willing to accept. Why, any individual is not willing to accept? Why just me? Even the pharmaceutical companies know that unhappiness is not one's nature. That's why there are so many antidepressants, so many anti-anxiety medicines. And the people in the pharmaceutical companies, they haven't studied Vedanta. Yes, they haven't studied Nirvāna Ṣatkam. They haven't studied the Mahavakyas, the sentences, the great sentences that equate the jaded, faded, complaining individual called the Jiva with Brahman, Ishvara, God. They haven't done this. Absolutely not. But still, there is this understanding that I am unhappy means what? I'm not forever unhappy. My nature is happiness, but I don't know how to get there. There is something in the way. These three pursuits comprise all activities in the universe. Think about it. The frenetic activities we set is to protect what I have, to gain what I don't have. What I don't have, I gain. I want to gain. And then what I have, I want to protect. So that's half of my time gone. Gaining what I don't have, 1/4 of the time. Then protecting what I have, half of the time in my life. And then getting rid of what I have acquired but I do no longer like. That is 3/4 of the time. But in the West, we have this concept of garage sale. My garbage is your treasure. Yes. Yeah. That is the philosophy. Yeah. Why is there a garage sale? Because first it was in the living room. I got this wonderful object of art. Somebody showed me. Went to their house for bhiksha. Bhiksha means a fancy way of saying lunch. Okay, yeah, yeah. Swamis have bhiksha. Everybody else has lunch. Yeah, a lot of hype. That's all it is. Yeah. So I went to somebody's house for lunch, and then there, they said, "Oh, this is a very, very famous doll, and I want you to bless it. It is very, it's very famous." I said, it just looked something ordinary like a piece of china for me. I didn't see anything that was so exciting about it. But yes, there is no accounting for tastes, and sure, maybe they like it, no problem, all the power to them. But I had never really blessed a doll. I said, what do I do? No, please hold it. So then they put it in my lap. I was holding it, and then they told me the price. I quickly gave it back to them. Yes. It was about this high, maybe a foot, maybe 14 inches. And they said it is $2,500 for one of them. And then their desire was to have the whole collection, the entire collection. I said, yes, please. Tathastu, so be it, if that's what it is. If I can get the happiness, see, so this is what it is, getting what I don't have. And they said, we are missing only 6 pieces. The others are, only this here we have to show. The others are in some bank, safe. They are very safe. They have been kept in a bank. I said, why? So that we can bank on them in a time of crisis. We can sell it, it will appreciate. I said, okay. So then they said, we are missing number 3, number 17, number something. Four pieces were missing. They were extremely limited editions. You see, so this is what it is. Getting something that I don't have. And that's what the whole family is thinking about, how to get doll number 17. Who is ready to sell? They are looking at all the forums on the web. And the dolls are very famous, so they have some forums. I forget what they are called. It doesn't matter. But this is what the whole thing is. Acquiring what I don't have. And then the ones they do have, it cannot be kept at home. Why? Robbers. Therefore, it has to be, you have to purchase a safe in a bank to keep it safely. So, acquiring what I don't have, 1/4 of the life is gone, and then what? Protecting what I have. Half of the life is gone, all the activities centered on that. Then you have to buy it insurance. It's endless. You have to keep it safely, you have to buy it insurance, you have to make sure it keeps appreciating. And you have to keep looking at how much price it is. And if it's depreciating, then quickly you sell off a few, because before it becomes zero, the price. Suddenly the market could crash. There's nothing to, we don't understand the market at all. Especially if we are not economists. And even then we barely understand it. And so half of the life is gone in that. And then what about the other half of the life? The other half of the life is getting rid of things that I wanted at one point and I no longer want. Like any other object of art. You buy it and you put it in a prize place in the living room. Yes, here it looks wonderful. Then of course, it's no fun to enjoy it by yourself. You have to have a gathering. You have to have all your friends over. This is what the person did. The person wanted to show the object of the piece of art, artwork, whatever it is. Everybody came. The party was a big success, except nobody appreciated the object. And the owner of the house, the homeowner, went and stood near the object, gesticulating, hoping that people will appreciate. No. Then when the people went home, the owners had a doubt. They said, they looked at each other, maybe it's not as nice as we think. Let us put it in the family room. Then from the family room, it went to the laundry room. And from the laundry room, it went to the garage. Bye-bye. My garbage is your treasure. This is how it is. So that's 3/4 of the life. And then what about the last quarter of the time I have in my life? How is that spent? That is spent keeping at bay things I do not want ever. Like what? Gray hair, I do not want. Keep it at bay. Wrinkles. Anybody wants wrinkles? Raise your hand. See, nobody is raising your hand. Wrinkles I do not want. Certain things you have to keep at bay. So this is how the whole of the life is spent. 4 activities. What are the 4 activities? Getting things I don't have, protecting the things I have acquired, and then getting rid of things I have acquired but I do not any longer want because my taste and my raga dvesha has changed. And then finally, keeping at bay sickness, old age, death, wrinkles, gray hair, all these things, keeping at bay because I never, ever, ever want them. Is this how we want to spend our lives? Really, think about it. The answer should be no. If it is yes, please see me after the satsang. Yeah. We need to have a talk, a private talk. The answer must be no, this is a waste of time, a waste of life. But yet, one is compelled to do that. The question becomes very increasingly, interesting to look at. A very important question, why? Why am I completely taken up by arthakama pursuits? And the most important pursuits, because we have discussed only 3, is what? Moksha. Moksha means a sense of freedom. Freedom from a sense of bondage. Bondage is defined by the 3 pursuits. That is where it leads. Just being very honest about it. That's where it leads, even though they are genuine pursuits and everybody seems to be pursuing them. The end result is a sense of bondage. Then one becomes a little more wise, a little more emotionally mature, a little more available for instruction because nothing works. All the attempts at shoring up happiness ends in a big question mark. All the attempts at keeping at bay what I don't want also ends in a question mark. Except the body itself is in the form of a question mark at the end of life, all hunched over. Querulous, dissatisfied, complaining. It does not change. The main thing that I want it to change, it does not change. It's always on this brink. And so therefore, I need to understand this properly. I need to understand this pursuit called moksha, which is the seeking of freedom from insecurity, from a sense of insecurity, freedom from a sense of bondage. And this is what the text that we are going to study is going to tell us. How to redefine this identity in 6 short verses. We will have the text by this evening. Some of you can share, and otherwise you can Google it and then access it on your devices. That is also an option. But we don't need it right now. Right now we can just look at what Vedanta has to offer this person who is seeking freedom from insecurity, freedom from a sense of bondage, freedom from a sense of unhappiness. And when is this freedom sought? All the time, forever. In fact, it is not wrong to say that it is forever that I want. I don't want the thing in itself. What I want is forever. That's why you tell somebody, in India this is very common. Somebody tells somebody, you know, my son, my daughter got a job. Oh, is it permanent? They're not interested in what kind of a job. Is it permanent? Oh, so and so is in a relationship. Is it permanent? Does it look like it will lead to marriage? This is what it is. Oh, please come and visit me in my house. Do you own the house? You don't own the house, the bank owns the house. But then you just can operate under the illusion that you're owning the house most of the time. Do you own the house? Is it really yours? This is just how we talk. We need something permanent. That permanent is the forever. I want this to be there forever. And that forever is the happiness that I seek, and is the security that I seek, the freedom from insecurity, the freedom from unhappiness that I seek, is in this one word, forever, which the Shastra calls Ananta, Ananda. Ananda, many times translated as happiness, bliss, etc., really means freedom from a notion of bondage, which means forever and ever and ever and ever. That forever is Ananta. That forever is Ananda. And if this forever is to be sought outside of me, then I will be a forever seeker. I'll be seeking all the time forever. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So therefore, what is the truth here? The truth is, I don't want to be a forever seeker. Moksha is dropping the seeker in me. That is moksha. Dropping the notion that I'm a wanting person. Dropping the notion that I am a seeker. I do not want to continue seeking, because whatever I seek is finite. What I seem to want is forever, the infinite. This, my friends, is the confusion, the wrong conclusion that in seeking finite objects, I will become, within quotes, become infinite. There seems to be a problem here. It's a very logical and obvious problem. Why? We would say the world is divided into two. Atma, I. And then the rest of the universe, Anatma, not I. Dvau hi padarthau atma anatmanau. And this is just, I translated what I said in Sanskrit. Padartha means, literally it's translated as thing, but it's not a correct translation. If you say there are only two things in the universe, one is me, there's already a problem. Are you a thing? No, I'm not a thing. I'm a self-conscious entity. I'm a conscious being. So that there itself is a problem, because in English we don't have any other words. Padyate anena iti padam tasya arthaha padarthaha. Padartha means a word which has a meaning. Much better, much more objective a definition. A word which has a meaning is called padartha. And what is this word? I. And it has a meaning that I understand. This is I. Anatma, not I. That also has a meaning which I understand, because I don't confuse the table to be me. When you meet me and you say, who are you? Why have you come to the ashram? Please introduce yourself. I don't start by saying, I'm not the table, okay? Yeah, please understand, I'm not the table. Yeah, I'm not the chair, okay? Please don't mistake me for the chair. I'm not the microphone. I'm not the stage. I'm not the hall. I'm not the trees. Does anybody introduce themselves like that? Yeah. Yeah. Unless one is cuckoo. Yeah, that's the word, I think. Yeah. If I'm cuckoo, I will keep saying I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this. Yet, the most, one of the most treasured texts attributed to Adi Shankara, that is how it redefines the I. Very interesting. That is how it redefines. The question is why? Very interesting. I don't take myself to be the table. I don't take myself to be my house. I don't take myself to be my belongings. I don't take myself to be my cat, my dog, my pet. I don't take myself to be my loved ones. All that is what? Anatma, 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 belonging to the realm of not I. Okay, then where is this I? That's also a very interesting analysis. It seems to end with any extremity, tip of the nose. Beyond that, not I. Yeah, the nose is the most prominent protruding feature of the face. That's why I'm choosing that. Tip of the nose, after that what? Not I. I, not I. Again, you take other extremities like hands, fingers. Is this I? Yes. Is this I in between the two fingers? Not I. So strange. Look at this. Not I. Again, I. Yes, that's me. Not I. I. Not I. I. Definitely I. Ow. If you do it, if I press harder, ow. Not I. Ow. And then, not I. Not I. I. Not I. Not I. Not I. If a bullet passes in between, I am saved. Why? Because it did not hit me. See? Did not hit me. I'm saved. But half an inch here or there. Ow, 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 take me to the hospital. So obviously, the distinction between the I and the not I is not so clear as we thought, is it? The answer has to be no. There seems to be a little bit of a confusion based on the conclusion that the I is confined to what we call this body mind sense complex. The body, the mind, the senses is all just me. There is a problem with that because Vedanta Shastra is going to say that the definition of not I is very clear. What is the definition? How do you define something as not I? Anything that I can objectify is not I. Can you objectify the table? Yes, it is an object, it is here, I see it. With my sense organs, I can see it, I can touch it, I can hear it, it can make a sound, I can use it as a drum a little bhajan tune on it. I can objectify it with my sense organs. Similarly, the stage, very clear, not I. The lights in the room, not I. Doors, windows, if there are any, not I. Floor, ceiling, not I. Tree, not I. Very clear. Certain things are very clear. But as it comes close to that which is encased in the epidermis, the skin, which is the largest organ of the body, there seems to be a rampant confusion between the I and the not I. And if we take this definition, what is the definition? Anything that I can objectify is not I. Can I objectify this body? Yes? No? Yes? Can I look upon this body as an object? Yes. Objectify, we have to define here. Objectify means with my sense organs, can I see or sense this body? Yes. Yes. This is my hand. See? From me hand, now it has become what? My hand. Can I objectify the mind? Yes, because I say, oh, now there is a feeling of restlessness creeping up. But I don't say that. What do I say? I am restless. Do you see how the I has just been juxtaposed here? I am hot, I am cold, identifying myself as prana. I am restless, identifying myself as the mind. I am fat, I am thin, I am short, I am tall. That is body identification. Associating myself and identifying myself as the body, you can see that between the I and the not I, there is a confusion. And that text, which is going to remove this confusion and thereby release us from bondage, is called Nirvāna Ṣatkam. That with the text we will see, starting with the evening. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. That's it. Thank you very much. Om Namah Shivaya.
So we'd like to thank again very much Swamini Svatmavidyananda Saraswati for this beautiful teaching. Let's give her another big hand. And Swamini ji will continue the teaching tonight in the evening satsang, and then continuing also in the upcoming days. Will be in most of the morning satsangs and evening satsangs, and also there will be a midday workshop. So again, we're very grateful and honored to have Swamini ji back at the ashram. Let's give her another big hand. So now we'll review the schedule for today. So first of all, for those who are starting the Yoga Teachers Training course today, at 12:30 we'll be having an orientation meeting, and this will be taking place in the main temple of the ashram. So kindly come a few minutes before 12:30 for this orientation meeting. And then today at 4 p.m. Here on the garden platform, there will be the inauguration ceremony for the Yoga Teachers Training course. So kindly come a few minutes before 4, and for any of the guests or staff that would like to participate and join this very special ceremony, all are welcome to be here at 4 o'clock on the garden platform. Now we'll go over the rest of the schedule. At 8 o'clock, we'll have the yoga classes. We'll have an intermediate class on the beach platform, in a beginner's class on the Bay West platform. 9:50 the brunch. 11 o'clock, we'll be offering the ashram welcome and history tour, living from reception, for any new guests, and also for any of those who are joining for the Yoga Teachers Training course. If you haven't joined the ashram tour, please join today at 11 o'clock. Then at 12 o'clock, for the guests, we'll have the special workshop with our staff Arjuna, an introduction to Qigong as a moving meditation, learning how to balance emotions through the natural elements. This will be here on the garden platform at 12. Then at 4 o'clock, the Yoga Teachers Training course here on the garden platform. We'll also be having the yoga classes at 4, so intermediate on the beach and the beginners on the Bay West platform. 5:50 the dinner. 7 o'clock the chanting of the Bhagavad Gita, followed by a short study in the main temple. And at 8 o'clock tonight in the evening satsang, we continue the special program with Swamini Svatmavidyananda Saraswati on redefining one's identity, contemplative verses on the truth of the self, the teachings from the Nirvāna Ṣatkam. So now we will conclude with the final prayers and the Arati, page 98. Om, Om, Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purna Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. O Lord of mercy and love, let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Om Bolo Satguru Sivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnudevananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Please stand up for the Arati. You're welcome to follow on page 118. Om Jai Jarati Vigna Vinayaka Vigna Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jai Jarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jai Jarati Venugopala Venugopala Venulola Papa Vidura Navanita Choraha Jai Jarati Venkataramana Venkataramana Sankataharana Sitarama Radhe Shyamaha Jai Jarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Shankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jai Jarati Rajarajeshwari Rajarajeshwari Tripura Sundari Maha Lakshmi Maha Saraswati Maha Kali Maha Shakti Jai Jarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumantaha Jai Jarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jai Jarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jarati Shanishwaraya Shanishwaraya Bhaskaraya Jai Jarati Shankaracharya Shankaracharya Advaita Gurave Jai Jarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jai Jarati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jai Jarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Shri Rama Priyaye Jai Jarati Ayappa Swamiye Ayappa Swamiye Dharma Shastave Jai Jarati Jesus Gurave Moses Gurave Buddha Gurave Jai Jarati Muhammad Gurave Guru Nana Gurave Samasta Gurubhyo Namaha Jai Jarati Venugopala Om Natatra Suryo Bhati Nachandra Tarakam Nema Vidyotobanti Kotoyo Magnihi Tameva Bantumanubhati Sarvam Tasya Basa Savamidam Vibhati Om Gange Chayamune Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmahade Sindhu Kaveri Namastabhyom Namo Namaha Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Shasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyavad Buddhiyatmanava Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Adyat Sakalam Parasmai Naharayana Tisamarpayami Sarvadharman Parityaja Namekam Sharanam Vraja Ham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Moksha Ishyami Ma Shucha. Shivaya. So thank you for joining us for this wonderful morning satsang. Please have some prasad, everybody, before you go. And if you could kindly help us to clear the platform, and have a wonderful day. Om Namah Shivaya.